To get started. All right. Again, thank you everyone for joining us this evening for ANC3C's January 2025 monthly public meeting. We're going to get started with the establishment of a quorum. So if commissioners, you can say if you're here or not, that would be great. 3C01.
Here.
3C02.
Here.
3C03 is myself, and I am here. 3C04.
Here.
3C05.
Here.
3C06.
Here.
3C07.
I'm here.
3C08.
Here.
And with that, 8 of 8 commissioners are present. We've established a quorum. I can verify that notice was sent to the neighborhood listservs as well as apartment listservs and Main Streets organizations, the ANC3C notice list, Twitter/X, and the ANC3C website. We will move on to the approval of the agenda, and with that, the approval of the consent calendar. Before I read off everything currently on the consent calendar that would be approved with the approval of the agenda and said consent calendar, does anyone have any changes they wish to make? All right, hearing and seeing none. The items that are on the consent calendar that will be approved with the approval of said calendar and agenda are the approval of the November 2024 meeting minutes, the approval of the December 2024 meeting minutes, a resolution regarding the 2025 Rock and Roll DC Half Marathon and 5K, a letter regarding DDOT Notice of Intent for Safety Improvements around 28th Street Northwest and Rock Creek Drive Northwest and Rock Creek Drive Northwest and Normanston Drive Northwest. A resolution regarding a historic preservation review board application for 3521 35th Street Northwest, which is concept side and roof addition, and a resolution regarding a historic preservation review application for 3508 Lowell Street Northwest, which is a concept curb cut and driveway. So all those in favor of approving these items that are on the consent calendar and the agenda moving forward, please raise your hand. Or say aye. So I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hands up. The items that are on the consent calendar are approved and will not be discussed further in this meeting. So if you're here for any of those, just know that. All right, great. Moving on to commission business. The first item of business, as it is every January, is the election of officers. So the way that we do this, because we do not use a secret ballot, and everybody will hear our votes. If there are multiple commissioners nominated for a position, we will do a roll call vote, in which case each commissioner would say which nominee they're voting for, and we will tally those results publicly and in this open format. So with that, we will start with the election of chair.
Can I motion to nominate Commissioner Pagets to continue as chair?
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we don't really need a second, but I'll take it. I'm willing and able to serve in this role. We always ask that too, so, and I am willing and able. Are there any other nominations for the role of chair? Hearing and seeing none, we will move to a vote. All those in favor of Commissioner Pagets remaining on as chair for this year, raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hands are up. So that's 8-0 to 0. So thank you. I look forward to continuing in this role. We will move on now to a nomination for vice chair. Commissioner Littauer.
Hi. I motion to nominate Mr. Adam Prinzo to serve as vice chair.
Okay. I'll go ahead and second that. Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor of Commissioner Prinzo in the role of vice chair, please raise your hand and or say aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hands are up. So that is 8-0. Thank you, Commissioner Prinzo, who I forgot to ask if he's willing and able to serve in this role
I am.
as vice chair. Thank you. I'm glad we could confirm that. All right, moving on to the role of secretary. Do we have a nomination for secretary? Commissioner Prinzo.
I will nominate Commissioner Littauer to be secretary.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Nash is seconded. Commissioner Littauer, are you willing and able to serve in the role of secretary?
Willing, able, and eager. Thanks.
Excellent. Are there any other nominations for secretary? Hearing and or seeing none, all those in favor of Commissioner Littauer in the role of secretary for this year, raise your hand or say aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8-0. Congratulations and welcome to that role. All right. Finally, the envious role of treasurer. Do we have a nomination for treasurer?
I will nominate Commissioner Kripke, and I am sorry in advance.
I will second both the motion and Commissioner Prince's sentiments. Are you willing and able to serve in this role? You don't have to be eager.
Not eager, but I reluctantly willing.
All right. Are there any other nominations for treasurer? Commissioner Nash, did your hand go up?
No, but want to also second it with thanks to Commissioner Kripke.
Just checking. All those in favor of Commissioner Kripke serving as treasurer for this year, please raise your hand or say aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hands are up. Passes 8-0. Congratulations and or condolences, Commissioner Kripke, but thank you for standing up and taking this on. All right. Moving on to the next item of commission business. This is the consideration of the 2025/January 2026 meeting calendar. The proposed date, the commission has traditionally met the third Monday of each month, with the exception being August, which we don't hold a meeting, and or if a federal holiday falls on that third Monday. I'm also proposing with these proposed dates that we have our start time be at 7 p.m. And the meetings be virtual except for the 2 exceptions that I'm going to note when I read these dates off. So Tuesday, February 18th, because the Monday, February 17th is President's Day, Monday, March 17th, Monday, April 21st, Monday, May 19th, Monday, June 16th, which would be the hybrid virtual and in-person meeting with the location to be determined, Monday, July 21st, Monday, September 15th, Monday, October 20th, Monday, November 17th, which is the second proposed hybrid and virtual meeting with location to be determined, Monday, December 15th, and Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, as Monday, January 19th is MLK Day.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any comments from commissioners? Changes? All right, all those in favor of approving the aforementioned meeting schedule for this year, please raise your hand or say aye. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hands are up. So that schedule is what we will be working towards moving forward. Under this item, I would like to make a motion that the commission set up a task force of commissioners to tackle the solutions for the hybrid meetings we are intending to hold in June and November. I will first ask for volunteers from the commission to lead this effort.
I volunteer.
Thank you, Commissioner Nash.
I also
And
volunteer.
thank you, Commissioner Wells.
I will volunteer.
Thank you, Commissioner Beard. And it's not saying like not any of the rest of us are going to help. It's just great to have some folks outside of the officer corps that are going to help spearhead getting this done and being as effective and as efficient as possible with it. So I really appreciate that. Any other discussion or volunteers for this?
Join as well.
Okay, great. Thank you, Commissioner Spahn. All right. So we can take a vote if that's okay with everyone on having this task force to solve for virtual, in-person and hybrid virtual and in-person meetings. All those in favor, please raise your hand or say aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 to 0 to 0. Thank you all. And if the first one goes super well, we have, as a commission, hopefully we'll decide to have more in the interim between the June one and the one that we've committed to in November. So there's that. Next item of business is the discussion and consideration of changes to public notice of meetings to include the posting of flyers and or posters in each single member district. One of the ways that we can notice, one of the 4 ways, we have to do 2 of the 4 ways that we can notice meetings includes this option. We have not done it in the past. What we need to do is place notice of meeting in 4 conspicuous places in each single member district. So I will move that addition change to move forward. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, great. Is there discussion among the commission? And hopefully all of you can find at least 4 places in your SMD that we can post notice so that we can meet the requirement using this method moving forward. This is hopefully increasing our notice and outside of things like the website and the listservs where we know we're not meeting as many people where we should be meeting them where they're at. All right. Sorry. Did I call the vote on that? I'm just spaced out for a sec. No. All those in favor of making the change, please raise your hand or say aye. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 to 0 to 0. Thank you. Sorry. We're moving quickly, so I appreciate it. All right. The next item is the consideration of chairs and co-chairs of the existing standing committees. So Commissioner Prinzo, I think, has agreed to help me out with this. So do you want to take it away, Commissioner Prinzo?
I will. If there's anybody that hears their name called out, please let me know that they didn't want to or they would like to add themselves. But for transparency in public processes, I would like to nominate myself as chair.
Second.
Do we have to vote now or should I just keep reading?
Yeah, all those in favor of Commissioner Prinzo chairing transparency, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, unless, yeah, to 0 to 0. All right, cool.
Safe, sustainable, and equitable transportation. I'd like to nominate Commissioner Littauer, Beard, and myself as co-chairs.
Second. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hands are up. 8 to 0 to 0. Thank you.
For community engagement and grants, I'd like to nominate Commissioner Kripke and Commissioner Littauer as co-chairs.
Second. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Commissioner Shaban. 8, 8-0. Thank you.
For planning, zoning, housing, and economic development, I would like to nominate Commissioner Pagets, Commissioner Bose, and Commissioner Prinzo as co-chairs.
Second. All those in favor, please raise your hand or say aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-0. Thank you.
For Residential Historic Preservation Review Committee, I'd like to nominate Commissioner Nash and Commissioner Kripke as co-chairs.
Second. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hands are up. 8-0.
For Environmental Justice, I would like to nominate Commissioner Kripke as chair.
All right, second. All those in favor, please raise your hand or say aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-0.
And last, but certainly not least, for Public Safety, I would like to nominate Commissioner Nash and myself to continue as co-chairs.
Second. All those in favor, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-0. Excellent. Feel like I'm running an auction, but I'm glad we're done with that part. All right. So that concludes commission business. Moving on to announcements, starting with single member district reports. Does anyone have a single member district report this evening? Commissioner Prinzo.
So I would just like to thank first Barbara from the Woodley Park Community Association for bringing it to my attention that the intersection at Woodley Road in Connecticut, opposite the Metro escalator, had a very short crossing time. I think she told me it was 25 seconds. I have been in touch with DDOT and that will be extended to 35 seconds. It should have already been extended, but I'm not sure if it was. I haven't walked up that way in a minute. But I'd like to thank her for that because 25 seconds is a very short time to cross the street.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Kripke.
I would like to note that I noticed among my neighbors that there was about 95% over the last 2 weeks, the sidewalks have been pretty good. I would estimate 95% of my neighbors have done a good job of keeping their sidewalks clear of ice and snow. But there is about 5% of my neighbors who are not doing a good job. And in some cases, they may be out of town or I don't know. And it's something that I think is a real concern because I do see other neighbors who are in trouble, especially those who have mobility problems or who are pushing strollers, wheelchairs, and so forth. So just really encourage my neighbors to do their best. And if they have trouble, there are resources available, including your neighbors to help you clear your sidewalks, but also there are on-call services that can be helped. So just want to make that note. I think we've done pretty good, but we need to do better, and it's very icy and dangerous out there right now. So I just wanted to make that point.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Littauer.
On behalf of 3C01, I'd like to welcome one of the newest businesses to Woodley Park, DC Street Plants, opened a couple of weeks ago over on Connecticut Avenue next to Sofra, and is owned and run by 2 members of my SMD, Mariah and Montez. If you get the chance to go introduce yourself, stop by, say hello, and pick up a houseplant for your residents. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Any other SMD reports? Commissioner Beard.
In my SMD 3C04, a constituent brought to my attention that it seems that no one is responsible for shoveling the sidewalk in between 3701 Connecticut Avenue and 3801 Connecticut Avenue, which is facing Rock Creek Park. I made contact with the city and with the National Park Service, and neither party seem to take responsibility for that. The sidewalk did eventually get shoveled, but that is a noted problem in my SMD. And so one suggested solution was talking to both apartment buildings to see if they might extend their shoveling duties into that area.
Great. Sounds like a reasonable solution to me. I will also say, as my SMD report, I want to give a shout out to the Mocors team, Kendall and Owen, who I reached out to about shoveling the Klingel Valley Bridge sidewalks because they never get cleared. And as many of you know, and I'm sure logic would follow, the sidewalks on a bridge can get really icy. So I've tried for years to get that area taken care of, and this is the first year it was ever taken care of in a timely manner. And it's like so important for the hundreds of people that travel up that way every day on the sidewalk. So really appreciate it. They did a lot of the work themselves and then had to call in reinforcements for the extremely icy patches. So there's that. Also a reminder that the pandas are open to the full-on public later this week. So just be aware it's probably going to get pretty busy around this area in front of the National Zoo. So I hope that drivers are exercise caution and behave appropriately. I believe that there's something in the works at the zoo to improve the load in, load out of the main parking entrance here and the visibility of the crosswalk. I haven't been able to confirm with them exactly what that scope of work is. I just saw that a permit was issued. And I did reach out to them and they have not responded as of yet. I'm assuming they are quite busy with their event planning. So there's that. And then there's obviously the news of Jersey Mike's and Falafel Inc. coming into that strip at 3000 Connecticut. So finally getting some retail up in that space is a welcomed relief. All right, last call for SMD reports. All right, we will now move on to committee reports. And this is also an opportunity to nominate any community members that have reached out about formally joining these committees. Now, this is not the only opportunity that we have moving forward to nominate community members to each committee. We do this every month on a rolling basis as folks raise their hand. But the priority this month was obviously standing up the new commission and the new officers and setting our calendars. So didn't want to make this like really nomination intensive, even though it kind of has been. All right, so we're going to start out with the Safe, Sustainable, and Equitable Transportation Committee. This is also going to be the opportunity where you all can announce when you think your meetings will, the cadence of your meetings, not committing to it, but cadence moving forward. So Safe, Sustainable.
So right now, we are scheduled to meet every second Wednesday at 7. Is that? I mean, we can obviously move that around as needed. And then I would just quickly say and move the renomination of Warren Gorlick to serve for 3C07, Kay Garcia to serve for 3C02, and Adam Elkins to continue on for 3C03.
I'll second that. All of those in favor of the continuing community members serving on this committee, raise your hand or say aye. All right, I see all 8 hands are up. So that's a go. Are there any new nominations for this committee?
Yes, Commissioner Littauer here, and I raise a motion to nominate Mr. Aidan Jacoby from ANC3C01, committed resident in my SMD, interested in making all modes of transportation safer, across not just our SMD, but across the ANC at large. So with that, I raise a motion to nominate Aiden Jacoby. Thanks.
Thank you. And I see Aiden is here. So Aiden, if you want to say hi.
Yeah, hi, I'm glad to be here. Just like Samuel said, I would love to help out on the Transportation Committee and to improve the ANC for all members of the community.
Great. Thank you for volunteering. All those in favor of this nomination, raise your hand or say aye. All right, I see all 8 hands are up. So thank you and look forward to working with you on this.
Thank you so much.
All right. Commissioner Bose.
Hi, everyone. I would also like to make a nomination for Mac Hyde to join the Transportation Committee. Mac's been an active member of the 3C community and is very interested in planning and sustainability issues. And Mac, if you're on the call, you can confirm what SMD you're in. I'm not actually sure.
Hi, yeah, I'm 3C06.
Awesome. Thanks, Mac. And thank you again for your raising your hand to serve. All those in favor of supporting this nomination to this committee, raise your hand or say aye. I see all 8 hands, so welcome to the team. Any other nominations? All right. Any other things out of safe, sustainable, and equitable transportation?
I don't believe Commissioner Siddiqui had a meeting in December, so.
Okay, cool. All right, transparency and public process.
That committee met last week just to talk about some ANC operations, and we will meet again at some point in the future.
All right. Community engagement and grants.
Okay, welcome Commissioner Littauer to co-chairing. Our typical way of working has been basically to meet when we have a grant proposal. So the chair usually take up the interest from community groups in grants, talk them through how to write a proposal, and then the committee will meet the last Tuesday of the month to consider the proposal, discuss it with the applicants, and then it goes to full ANC for a review and approval. There were no community members on the committee last term. I'm welcome to have community members if anybody is interested or wants to nominate anyone at this point. And I think that's it.
Okay. Great. All right. Planning, zoning, housing, economic development. So we will have our first meeting on February 3rd at 6:30 via Zoom. I apologize that I didn't get around to asking the current community committee members if they're willing to continue on their service. I will be doing that in the next week or so, hopefully. So we don't currently have, well, actually, no, we do have a nomination, actually.
Well, we have the renomination of John Goodman.
Okay,
307.
sorry. All right.
He had previously expressed interest to me.
All right. So just to carry on with the next meeting being on February 2nd, that's going to focus on the Office of Planning and their plan for moving the Connecticut Avenue design guidelines forward, which includes the upzoning for greater density in both Cleveland Park and Woodley Park. So they're looking to get some initial thoughts from the community after, we've gone through this design guidelines process over the past 3 years. They were approved by the Historic Preservation Review Board. Now this is the process that takes it through to do a rulemaking map amendment through the zoning commission. And that process is being led by the Office of Planning, rather than like each building owner going through this individually, because this was also approved, another community engagement process of the comprehensive plan amendments and the future land use map. So all of these bits and pieces have already gone through robust community engagement, and now we'll be going through further community engagement for this text amendment. So the goal is for this initial get together with the ANC is to gather these inputs so that when they're ready to go to the zoning commission, there's a really good draft of what all of this looks like. And this process will also eliminate the caps on the restaurants and bars that exist in Woodley Park and Cleveland Park. And as I think we've seen recently, those caps are leading to proliferation of like smoke shops and tanning salons and like things that aren't the best retail saturations in some of these areas. So look for the notice on that meeting, again, February 2nd at 6:30 via Zoom. So hopefully we can get a number of folks and have a really good informational session and some initial feedback in that. Any questions from the commissioners on that? All right. With that, we'll move to these nominations. So Commissioner Prinzo,
I would like to move the renomination of John Goodman for 3C07.
great. All those in favor of that nomination, please raise your hand or say aye. I see all 8 hands are up, so that's 8-0. Okay. New nominations for planning, zoning, housing, and economic development. Commissioner Bose.
Hi, I would like to once again nominate Mac Hyde from 3C06.
Excellent. All those in favor of that nomination to this committee, raise your hand or say aye. Okay, I see all 8 hands are up. Great. Thank you again for volunteering for this one too. Super. All right. Does anyone else have anything from planning, zoning, housing, and economic development? All right. Seeing none, on to residential historic preservation.
I don't have any community members to nominate at this time. Typically, the way the committee has worked is it's been a kind of committee open to all the ANC members, as our committees are. We don't meet regularly, but rather schedule meetings as applications before the HPRB become ripe and are presented. Going forward, when we will schedule meetings, I also want to target it right around the middle of at least the second full week of the month. And the reason we're going to move it back and try to couple it with another committee meeting is several times we try to be responsive to community members, but typically the HPRB calendar drops early in the month. And when we've scheduled it sometimes at the first Monday of the month, we haven't always met that. So we want to make sure that we provide an opportunity for applicants to come forward and be heard, to present and be heard at the committee meetings. So we're going to be moving that meeting a little bit later in the month. That said, I really do want to make a plea for community members having applications that the ANC should review for HPRB to please reach out to me or to Commissioner Kripke, who is a co-chair, or to your commissioner, and let us, have your architect or your advisor or the applicant themselves let us know that you have confirmed you've reached out to adjacent property owners and let us know which ones those are, because again, we want to ensure that the community has been notified, because we try to handle the presentation of these in committee meetings where we can. And if it lends itself to the consent calendar, that's the path we, like to take. But that depends on the community members having notice that there is an application pending. So applicants can help us in that respect by letting us know early that they have reached out to affected property owners, and then we can schedule it.
Commissioner Kripke.
Uh, thanks, Commissioner Nash. I do have a nomination. Is this the right time to make a nomination for the?
Sure.
Pulling up her name. So sorry, just one sec. I would like to nominate Trish Brown Savage, who's in my SMD, lives in Woodley Park Towers, and has experience doing residential historic preservation activities with the Woodley Park Community Association. Has offered to sit on the committee, so I'd like to nominate her. I don't believe she's on the call, but I talked to her. I communicated with her today about it.
Yeah, thanks for sending that around earlier, and I'm happy to second that.
Great. All those in favor, please raise your hand or say aye. All right, I see all 8 hands, so that's 8-0. Please thank her for joining this. And also, I do want to stress that folks should talk to their neighbors with these applications, and not just like send the certified mail and assume no response is going to get your project across the finish line. It's not always the case. And I also want to mention that Commissioners Nash and Kripke have the majority of properties that would be subject to this review. So Commissioner Kripke is Woodley Park and Commissioner Nash is Cleveland Park. But again, reach out to your SMD commissioner also if it falls outside of their 2 SMDs. Cool. Thank you. All right, environmental justice.
Hi. So I'll be taking this over from Commissioner McCorson, who launched it as an inaugural committee last session. It actually, we'll have to come back with a regular scheduled time. I should consult the committee members about when to do that. We do try to meet monthly and take up issues that are facing the community with environmental bent. We have 2 community members of the committee that I'd like to move be renominated to the committee, if that's all right. I'll name them when I get them on my screen here. Just a moment. Madeline Gauthier, who's in my SMD, and Laura Moore, who I think is in Commissioner Bowe's SMD. I spoke with them in December, and both were interested in carrying on the committee. So I'd like to nominate to restore them to the committee this term.
Cool. I'll second that. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye. All right. All 8 hands are up. So welcome them back. That's excellent.
Any other nominations?
I have a nomination.
Excellent.
Heather Goss of 3C04 would, I'm putting her forth as for the Environmental Justice Committee.
Great.
I'll second.
Great. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye. All right. I see all 8 hands. So thank her because I don't see her on the call. That's great. All right. Public safety.
So the Public Safety Committee usually meets on the second Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. over Zoom. And with that, I would like to nominate continuing members Courtney Tolbert, who I believe is here, for 3C03,
Yes.
Mitchell Klein for 3C07, and Elizabeth Frenzy for 3C05.
Second.
Yes.
All right. All those in favor, raise your hand or say aye. All right, I see all 8 hands, so that's 8-0. Great. Anything else out of public safety?
I would just, first of all, thank the community members who are continuing, and for others on this virtual meeting, encourage community members to attend our calls, particularly because we have, as part of our standing agenda, a report from the 2nd district for the police service areas that cover our ANC area, Cleveland Park, Normanstone, Woodley, and of course, Massachusetts Avenue Heights. And it's more than a report. It's usually a often focused discussion with our partners at NPD, and it's a great opportunity for the community both to hear but also to engage.
Great, thank you. All right, anything else? All right, just as a reminder that we are looking for folks to join any one of these standing committees. We are currently looking for 1 member from each single member district, if possible. So you can find more information on our website about each of those and in our newsletters. So moving on. Announcements from the mayor's office. I see Owen's with us, so I'll ask you to unmute. I think.
Yes, hello everyone. So I just want to give a quick update. We've been getting a lot of calls about an issue with recycling and trash pickup. So I just want to make everyone aware that in light of both the inauguration and the snow emergencies we've been having, there's been a delay in the pickups, and also because of the MLK Day holiday, pickups are on a slide this week, so it's sliding 1 day. But we hear you on if there are any issues with recycling or trash pickups. So we're working with DPW to get it resolved as quickly as we can. I think they've been doing as good a job as they can. You know, they're battling Mother Nature, and it's not making it easy, but we are hearing you and passing it along to them. So if you've been hearing from constituents about that, don't worry, we hear them too, and we're doing our best to get it resolved. In regards to any unshoveled sidewalks, any residential sidewalks, you can report anyone who's neglected that to the Department of Buildings. They have a website where on their main page, it's a 1, 2, 3-step process for reporting it. Just say that you want to report an issue with property maintenance, and then the next page where you can give details, and that can then be passed along to them. For businesses, I believe it's the same process, but rather than a regular residential property, you just select a business property.
So can you report it via 311 too?
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay.
So with 311, just get a picture, and I believe. Well, actually, let me hold on for that for a second. So for snow and ice, I don't think there's a direct thing. For residential, there is a an added tab for 311 for the Serve DC volunteer snow team. So that would actually be more so for if there's a resident who's unable to shovel their own walk, like an elderly resident or someone who's disabled, then you can report that to the Serve DC snow team. They can try and find a volunteer who can take care of that. For a business, though, I don't think 311 is I don't think they actually have something that you can select in order to report that. I think that would have to be Department of Buildings. So
Can you call 311 and report it?
I think if you called in, they would be able to direct you to the right place. But I will note that for sidewalks, DPW does not do any sidewalks. DGS, Department of General Services, they take care of sidewalks outside of schools. So if it's residential, it's the responsibility of the resident for any sidewalks in front of or alongside their property. And for businesses, it's the business owner's responsibility. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Cool.
If I may, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, Chair Pagets, do you have a follow-up on that? And then I'll go back to another topic.
No, you're good. Go
Okay,
ahead.
thanks. Mr. Cox, I just had both a comment and also to express some thanks. So first on trash and particularly recycling, I was getting a lot of calls and inquiries from constituents because in part of the SMD that I represent, the west side of Cleveland Park, there was a missed pickup last week. And folks, understand, of course, with snow and other challenges, there are going to be missed pickups. I think the hope is that after slipping a day or two, that it won't slip for an entire week. And so where people were getting anxious was that having missed the pickup at the beginning of the week and knowing that the following week would be the sort of 1-2 punch of both the federal holiday and then today the service at the cathedral, which was a secure event with many streets being closed. They were afraid it would slip again. But with a lot of focus from DPW and the mayor's office, they did come around, at the end of last week and pick up. So everybody was relieved, particularly since many cans were at the street because there aren't alleys. So anyway, it's important that if there is slippage, at least DPW will come and commit to getting it done that week rather than having it slip an entire cycle. But wanted to thank both your office and DPW for finally coming through.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Great. All right. Any other comments or questions? This. Great. Moving on to the council member's office. Conrad, I will see if I can unmute you. If you have anything you'd like to contribute.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm mostly here just to listen, but did want to report two things. First, on his webpage, Mr. Fruman has set up an annual report laying out what he did over the past year and his goals going forward. Particularly important for anyone who doesn't know, he is now the chairman of the Committee on Human Services, which has oversight over the Department of Human Services and the DC Public Library System, among others. We'll also mention that on Saturday, he is holding his annual budget forum. This is an opportunity for anyone who wishes to log on to the virtual forum and discuss what their priorities or concerns are as the council moves into first the performance oversight hearings and then the budget season. So Mr. Fruman welcomes comments, and I guess that may be all I have to say. But happy to listen if anyone has any questions. Here, oh, I'm sorry, and one other thing. This Thursday will be Mr. Fruman's next work day in the ward period. So starting at 8 a.m., he will be at Bread and Chocolate, which is at 5542 Connecticut Avenue. This is in Chevy Chase. If anyone wants to stop by, various folks from the executive branch will be there. different times during the day. Mr. Furman will be there for part of the day, and his staff will be there throughout the day. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Although that happens during the workday where most people have to work. So, my ongoing comment on that program.
Well,
Thank
it's
you.
not workday in the ward.
I know, Rick, but I'd like to have one on, like, you know, after hours. Anyways. Okay, moving on to any other agencies here. I don't see any, but if you are here from an agency, raise your virtual hand in the reactions button and we can get to you. Community organizations. I thought I saw Robert. Robert, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Well, Chair Pagas, you've already mentioned it. These guys are coming back. I don't know if that's. I absolutely love technology. Let's
unblur your background.
Yeah, there we go. These guys are coming back.
Excellent.
On the 24th, and just to give you some sense of the economic impact, we saw a 23% decline in the amount of foot traffic coming into Woodley Park when the pandas left. So we hope that ticks up with the return of the pandas and the Wortman building opening this year. I think Woodley Park is going to get 2 significant shots in the arm. So we're really looking forward to that. I do have a message from Cassandra, if you will permit me. She asked that I tell everybody that the Stitch and Sip will be at the Paragon Thai in Cleveland Park on Tuesday, the 28th. And I think that's it for both of our programs. Thank you.
Great. And just for clarification for everybody on the call, Robert runs the Woodley Park Main Streets program, and Cassandra runs the Cleveland Park Main Streets program. And I appreciate them coming to our meetings regularly and keeping us up to date with the goings-ons and all of the work that they do to help with the businesses in the community in both of those areas. So thanks again, and
Robert,
hopefully.
is that your personal panda in your laundry basket that you just showed a picture of, or is that somebody else's panda?
So these are the pictures that we had. So when the pandas left, we brought in a National Geographic photographer who shot a series of photographs of the pandas in China. And these are the printouts that we have from that exhibition, which I very carefully took care of, and we'll be distributing them to businesses to help, you know, sort of spice up the neighborhood. We haven't received our FY25 funding yet, so unfortunately, I have to get creative in how we do things without cost. But these are some pretty incredible pictures.
Great, thank you. And hopefully you guys are making the rounds and meeting some of the new commissioners that have joined us this year. So cool. All right, any other community organizations? All right, seeing and hearing none, we will move on to the community forum portion of our agenda, where members of the public are invited to ask questions and raise concerns about issues that are not otherwise on the agenda. And we ask that you please limit your time to 1 to 2 minutes. So if you have something you would like to share, please raise your virtual hand in the reactions button, and then we can ask you to unmute. So does anyone have anything for the community forum?
Hi, my name is Linda Bostrom. I am on the call. Sorry, my voice is going. I didn't know how to raise my hand virtually, so I'm just speaking up. I am the board president at the Crestview Condominium. It's an 87 unit residential building at 3601 Wisconsin Avenue. And I'm here to address the most recent response of the DDOT and WMATA to the relocated bus stop at 3601 Wisconsin. I would first like to thank Chairman Bradley Lewis for reaching out to us, asking for information about our most recent break-in and his interest in helping us further our cause. The notice of intent was sent to us in August of 2023 to relocate the bus stop from 3515 Wisconsin to 3601 Wisconsin. And we have sent multiple letters to DDOT and WMATA since this time, expressing various concerns and reasoning why the bus stop should not have been placed in front of our residential building. The most recent.
Sorry, I just want to clarify that the bus stop that you're talking about and your address is actually in 3C, sorry, 3A03. So it's not in our ANC. And Commissioner Nash, I don't think that you got this notice of intent. You're the closest 3C commissioner.
That's correct.
Oh, okay, so this call, the link that we had was to 3C, and I'm really sorry.
I wonder if this happened, that initial thing might have happened before redistricting a couple of years ago. And that might be why you're still seeing 3C. That's an error on their clerical part for not having corrected it to the new lines that correspond with what happened with redistricting. So, Commissioner, hold on, where did I go here? Sorry, the page I was looking this up has done something funny.
Isaac, forget his surname, is the commissioner for there.
Okay.
Yeah, that was interesting because Matt Fruman had said that he would be on this call.
I think
No.
it was because 3A is meeting at the same time.
Oh,
I
no.
see. So you may be on the other call. I mean, I just want to say, you know, there are folks on the west side of Cleveland Park in the SMD I represent who, you know, have an interest in the Wisconsin Avenue bus line, and certainly, you know, moving stops that might create a greater, you know, burden in reaching them or timing or things like that, they're very interested in terms of the placement outside your building. I'm happy to talk with you, but it really is something where your own ANC commissioner and ANC3A will, I think, carry more focus, and so would encourage you to reach out to them.
I just sent you the link if you want to jump over to that meeting now, because it's happening. Yeah, it started at 7, so hopefully they can accommodate you over there. So I linked to the meeting notice. That should get you to the Zoom link.
And I also see Ms. Caroline Joss from
She was on
Crestview too.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to hop over there. I am so sorry, and thank you.
Yeah, no, I
Oh,
can send Carolyn the link as well.
Thank you.
So, yeah, no problem.
good luck.
Sorry about that. All right,
Okay, thank you.
no problem. Good luck. All right, anybody else for the community forum? Hearing and seeing none. The last item on the agenda.
I think Kathleen Gibbons has her hand up.
Oh, go ahead, Kathleen.
Hi, Janelle, and hello, all commissioners. You know, this is a real just thank you to Janelle and everybody involved in clearing snow on that bridge. It is the most huge issue every darn winter here. We have so many people who use the commercial strip. We have so many people with mobility issues. It is something that goes on our website all the time, our internal listserv. You know, how is it? What is going on? How is the walkability? And when I had told people that you were involved, they were shocked, completely shocked. So what I'm asking you is if you can send me a couple of bullets or something like that, so I can like forward that to people here so they can really understand the depth of commitment that people have, because I think that they don't understand exactly how behind the scenes people on the ANC work. That's it from me.
Yeah, thank you. There's a lot of texting back and forth. But yeah, my neighbors also thought that it was a miracle and some sort of act of God. So they were also very surprised. So again, thanks to the mayor's team on that one. All right. Anything else? The last item is an adjournment. Would anybody like to make a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? I'll second. All those in favor? All right, that concludes our first meeting of this term. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it and look forward to working with you moving forward. Enjoy the rest of your evenings, everyone. Thank you.